Before we begin, we'd like to acknowledge the traditional owners of the land that we're recording on, the Wurundjeri Willam clan and Tongarong people, and give our respects to their elders, past, present, and emerging. We encourage everyone listening to consider the traditional owners of the land they're living and thriving on, and consider the benefits that may come from a treaty with the First Peoples. This is, was, and always will be Aboriginal land.
Welcome to Create and Amplify, a long-form interview podcast. The podcast will consist of 10 50-minute episodes amplifying the voices of creatives with disability. Episodes will focus on the guests' previous and current projects, how the community can spread awareness about their work, their artistic process, their strengths and agility. It will also explore the guest's relationship with disability and how their disability influences their creativity. So who will be hosting the podcast? My name is Nicole Smith. I'm an artist with cerebral palsy living in Melbourne with qualifications in behavioural science and English. A lover of storytelling, I'm particularly interested in the story behind the curtain, the artistic process behind the art, the person behind the success. Most of my writing is in the areas of disability advocacy, memoir, and music, as well as education. I established the Blank Pages and Empty Spaces website to amplify the work of people making a difference through kindness, empathy, and determination. This podcast is an evolution of the website. My career in the arts has spanned writing, radio, community television, and performing, using one overarching theme: a fascination with the human condition. In their diversity training, Writers Victoria describes the representation of people with disability as falling into one of four categories: superhero, waif, evil villain, inspiration. Neither I nor any of the people I know living with disability feel like any of these categories encapsulate us. On the rare occasion people with disability are included in mainstream media, they are often defined by their condition, and their humanity, likes, dislikes, and personality are ignored. They exist as a token to fill a quota. Media seem willing to showcase diversity only if the diversity fits on either extreme end of the spectrum. On one end, Paralympian, models for inclusive clothing brands, or NDIS spokespeople. On the other, victims and recipients of charity. Create and Amplify exists for those in the middle of this spectrum. Talented artists with stories to tell who have not been afforded a platform simply because they don't fit either extreme. People whose work deserves to be recognized on an equal playing field, who just happen to be disabled. This podcast will hopefully reflect diversity in artistry, ability, gender, and culture, not because it is media fodder, but because all experiences of being human are valid. You can't be what you can't see, so it is all of our responsibility to ensure the arts are open to all. Create and Amplify has been assisted by the Australian Government through Creative Australia, its principal arts investment and advisory body. Before each episode, you will hear an acknowledgement of country from Bo Winden. Bo Winden is a neurodivergent writer of Wurundjeri heritage based in Naarm. He writes quirky stories about quirky people with a focus on YA fiction and creative non-fiction. You can find out more about Bo at bowinden.com. Thank you to producer Russell Osborne and audio engineer and editor Greg Smith. I look forward to hearing and sharing the stories of artists with disability. Please feel free to share the episodes and let me know what you think. Episodes will be fortnightly, starting on the 22nd of Feb. Our first guest is performer and playwright Kath Duncan. Happy listening.